Hello everyone, this is Alireza. Today we will start our first iteration video series for our node graph. What is a node graph I'm designing? This guy. As you see, it has a tools bar, it has a status bar, properties view, a help view, and a work view. You can create a new node or a node graph, sorry, or you can load a graph. Each graph will have its own nodes. You can use left and right arrow to set the position of properties, up and down to set the help and properties. You can middle mouse drag, and I broke something there. I will take a look at it later. To move your graph, and each node can have multiple connections. If you select a node, it will show its properties, and of course the sum of those properties, for example, this is 47, this is 10, this is 57, it will become 0, and you get invalid exception because I didn't use reflection in R&D. I just typecast every node to float node, and it says, hey, the head node is not a float node. But anyway, this is the type of the node graph that we are going to develop. And as you can see, you can move each node anywhere in the graph. You can pan the graph, and I will take a look why these two. Oh, I know why these two, because why these two does not behave. Come on, connect, and it behaves. Connect, and now this one will not. Oh, it behaved. Okay, that was for previous node graph. Okay, sorry. I was tweaking stuff in R&D, and it sometimes broke the graph, and because the graph is serialized, sometimes it's not behaving. Anyway, it's working. So you can pan the graph, you can move the graph nodes, and each time you select a node, it will highlight its connections and the slots inside the children or parent nodes that is connected to this node. You can add a node, for example, a float node, and an add node. And if you look, add nodes has 2 slots, and you can hook nodes to that guy, and it will behave. At this time, every node evaluates themselves at the same time. So we have 57 here, we have, for example, 32 here, 220, whatever, and it sums 0 because it can't evaluate this node as a float node. But if I add another float, for example, and connect it to here, and put something like, I don't know, 57, and this guy will show the evaluation of all of those. Okay, we will take a look at how we can change the behavior to fix this guy in the episodes. This was an R&D. I was very involved with drawing Beziers, hooking to proper connection, highlighting, blah blah blah. Okay, the typecasting is really simple. I knew I could use reflection, so I didn't go through there in the R&D. You can unload the graph. It will just unloads the graph from the view. If I load it again, you see that it's serialized properly, and it's really serialized properly. Okay, so if I play and stop, it will keep its value. You can clear the graph. So we still have the graph, as you see the name in the background. I'm not sure if it's visible in the video or not. I will make it more obvious, but we still have the same graph. Or you can delete the graph totally, and if I go here, now there is no graph. So I need to make a graph, for example, blah, create, and it shows at the back end, and now I have my buttons. So let's get busy, shall we? This was a preview. New project, and I wanted to, yeah, there, sure. And I will call it node editor first iteration. doesn't change 2D or 3D create project. And yeah, I have a busy desktop. You should see my second window. Okay, so the very first thing I want to import, although I'm not very much using it, is my Visual Studio Tools. Then I want a hierarchy of folders. So folder, we call it Node Editor. Inside Node Editor, we will have more folders called resources. Of course, we are dealing with editor, so editor and scripts. Inside resources, we will have a database, and there is a reason I'm putting it there, because if you remember our try on item system, you know that asset database that load asset won't work on runtime, and we want to be able to read the graph in runtime, so we put it inside the resource so that we can use resources that load. It will have a fonts folder, although I'm not using it. It will have a GUI skin, GUI skins, and it will have a textures folder. GUI skins will have editor and game, although I'm not using it for game yet, but I know that in future I may end up using it for our dialog system, so I will put it from now. The textures will have again editor and game. And fonts won't have any subfolders. Now editor will have some folders called menus, utilities, views, and windows. And these guys don't have any subfolders. Cool. And finally, scripts will have a folder called data. And inside data folder, we will have a folder called nodes. And in here, I will call a folder called math. Okay? So we have our folder structure. Now, where to start from? Well, obviously from editor and from menus. So in here, I will click a C#. I will call it RPG menu. Don't yell at me, David. I know I'm spelling it wrong. So create project file. And open in Visual Studio. Hopefully it will work. Yeah, first iteration, iterate, prepare the solution for me. And we have our solution. Of course, I only have the editor one now, but I have our RPG menu. I will make it a partial, public, and I think it needs to be static, or may not. No, but I want to make it partial, because I will have this class in different DLL files later. So why not making our life easier? And it's not inheriting from mono. So here we have one folder, one class that has a menu item. and that is RPG slash node editor slash launch editor. So public static, and it's void, not virtual, void. Thank you. And we call it init node editor. And why did you put it there? Because I totally forgot this guy. Okay, and I will save it. Now let's import our windows including project, views including project, utilities including project, and it will include its folders if I have, resources, and scripts. No. Cool. In Windows, I will add a new class, and I will call it node editor window. Now, node editor window, I forgot about namespaces. So namespace, it's rpg dot node editor node graph dot editor. Yeah, and I will move everything there. There we go. Bam. And why are you doing that? Oh, because I told him to do that. Okay. Now I need the same namespace inside here. Bam. So node editor window is obviously an editor window, and it will have some things that we will add, but for time being we will have public static void init, and we will call it from here. So we say node editor window dot init. That's all inside the menu, so we don't have to do anything else there. Now in init, we will have our first public static node editor window, and we call it node editor window I will call it instance. It's easier. So here we say instance equals to get window by type node editor window, and that's it. After that, we say instance dot title content equals to new GUI content, and we just give a text as node editor. Then we say instance dot max size equals to new vector2, and I went by 1000 by 600. And then instance dot min size equals to instance dot max size. So we effectively have one window that can't have more than one size. Then we will use some methods later, but I will implement them. So void update, I'm dumb, update, thank you. And no, on GUI, thank you. Anything else that I need is two methods that I will add later, but I will make them now. One is our create views, and these are private. So void create views. And another one that we will use later is void process events. And it will accept an event, we call it E. Okay, so this is our window, okay? Now, we will need to add our views so that we draw them inside our, why are you not happy? Create views. Oh, it needs to be static. Yeah, it did need to be static, I think. Yeah. So not satellite, static. Because it's being called inside the static method, it needs to be static. So in views, I will add a class and we'll call it basic view, or not basic, view base. And why are you doing this to me? I hate it and I don't have any way to set it properly. Bam. So our view base, of course, it needs to be serializable, and it has a public string as view title. It has a public rect, and we call it view rect. Then we have two protected stuff. So protected GUI skin, and we call it view skin. Skin. And another protected, and this is not yet implemented. So node. Oh wait. pg.node graph. Node graph. PG, and we call it current graph. PG. Huh. Interesting. I didn't know something like that exists. Anyway, so node graph, we don't have it yet. And of course, we want a constructor. Nothing is there. So we say, come on. View title equals to string.empty, then view rect equals to new rect, and we say get editor skin that we will add later. Then we have a constructor that has the view title, and we call that get editor skin here too. And finally a constructor that has title and rect. Cool. And again we call this method there. Okay. After the constructors, we will have some virtual methods so that its children can call. One is public virtual void update view. It accepts a rect, and we call it editor rect. It has a rect, and we call it, why did I do that with small editor? Thank you. Percentage rect, and we have an event, call it E, a node graph, and we call it cur graph, or we call it graph for short. Okay, we say if view skin is still equal to null, so we don't have any view skin, get editor skin and return. After that, we say view rect equals to new rect that has our editor rect.x multiplied by percentage rect.x, comma, come on, behave, then y, then width, and finally the height. Okay, and we say this dot current graph equals to graph, and this is redundant. Thank you. The next virtual method, public virtual void process events, and we call event e. And finally, we create that protected void get editor skin. Now, in here, we want to define our skin, but you know that Unity has two types of skins by itself. One is the dark one is not the dark one, and light gray one. How can we do that? Well, we say if editor GUI, come on, editor GUI utility dot is pro skin, and this became available, I think, in Unity 3.5 or later, I don't know. Then we say view skin equals to resources dot load, and we need to assign the address, so it's GUI skins / editor / node editor dark skin as GUI skin. We go and say else, get it, but it's light skin. Okay, so right now I come back into Unity, and yeah, I know pg.nodegraph is a namespace, but yeah, for example, forget about it. So inside our GUI skins editor, and I totally forgot to copy paste these guys. So copy. We will have a GUI skin that is dark skin, another GUI skin that is the light skin. I won't do the light one inside our series because I have the pro. I will do the dark one. I will show you how I did the icons and etc. So you can just do it yourself for the light skin. I just put it there so that we don't have errors. Okay. And that's it. This is the class. Now, node graph, I'm not happy with this. So I will create it right now. It's inside data, I think. Let me double check my nodes. Data, yeah, it's here. So create a C# node graph. And I need to generate the, reload all. And we have that node graph here. And I need to add the namespace on top. So Control C, Control V. Of course, it's not inside editor, so remove that. And it will be a scriptable object, but we will come to that later. So I will remove these guys for now. And now I should have come on, node graph using, oh, look at here, RPG, not PG. And this is RPG node graph editor. Come on, you should yell at me. Whatever. Using rpg.node edit node graph. And why are you not happy? PG. Where is that PG? I don't see any PG. Yes. Come on, I don't see any PG there. Node graph, and it's not seeing that. Ah, there we go. I needed to save. So it's Unity editor graphs node, or oh no, node graph, and it's seeing that, oh yeah, namespace RPG node graph. There we go. Now why are you not happy now? What did node graph? Okay, I will call it graph. Come on. Come on. Graph. Unity editor graphs. It's not seeing this guy. Node. Graph, save, close. This guy. It's gone. Project and open. I think I needed to save it and close it. Come on. Now it's using it. Okay, cool. So now what? Oh, that's the reason we have the node graph as namespace. So how should we change it? Node editor, and now, yeah, Control Z, node editor, and this guy is node editor. That was the reason I was wondering what was going on. Now, no, and I need to put it inside here and inside here. Wherever else. type or namespace. Node graph. Huh. Yeah, of course I'm losing something there, but come on, why are you not adding it? Node graph, node graph inside class RPG node editor node graph. Yeah. Okay. Using rpg dot node editor, and it's not finding it. Close it. Huh. Do I need to didn't you get the reference, did you? No. So add reference. And what is this guy? Okay. Okay. Close it. Go into your project. Thank you. Inside your project, I said, come on, where am I? Okay. First iteration. Delete these guys. Effectively removing everything from there. Generate project files. Open in Visual Studio. Now it's finding it. Cool. So Unity VS, I hate you sometimes. Okay. So we will come for this node graph later. But for time being, we are working on these guys, on our views. Sorry for a few seconds of not sure what was going on behind the scenes, but look at my project names and solution name. Grrr. Okay. My views. Come on, you can close. Now that we have view base, we can use it and inherit things from it. For example, we say node work view. Thank you for the namespace. Node work view will inherit from view base. Now here we will say a constructor without anything. Why are you waiting? Cancel. Constructor view base, sorry, without anything. Here we can say, hey, call the base with this constructor, work view. What am I doing here? In my node work view constructor, I'm calling view base as the base, and I'm using this constructor there and assigning the view title. This is how you can do it. Okay. After that, we want to put some usage on some of the overrides. So we say public override and we want our update view override. Cool. And we say public override our process event override. And why are you doing this every time? I know it. I'm in the same region. God damn it. Okay. We will add code into that later, so it won't look as redundant later. But we have some more methods: private void process context menu, and we give in an event e and private void, not constant void, context callback. And this guy accepts an object as obj. And we already spoke about context menus in our item editors. So that's our work view. We'll come to this guy later, and we will add things to it more and more. Actually, let's do this. Okay, when I'm calling the update view on the base, I'm already setting the current graph to graph. Cool. Then we say process events e. We send in the event we got. We say if current graph does not equal to null. We say view title equals to current graph.name that we don't have yet, so it will yell at us. But else we will say view title equals to work view again. Okay, now we want to show it, so GUI.box, this is direct, view-rect, view title, view scheme, dot get a style, the style that we want to make work view background. Cool. Then we say GUI layout dot begin area, and the area is again view-rect, and GUI layout dot end area. In here we say if current graph does not equal to null, then we want to process its GUI, and we don't have it yet, so I will add a to do here, and we say update graph GUI. Okay, now let me just comment this guy for future and comment this guy, sorry, not there, all of it to this point. So now in node editor window we can use that work view that we created. So after the instance we say public node work view, and we call it work view, and then let me see where I'm starting to use it. In on GUI we say if work view equals to null, then we say create views and return. So in create views we say if current view, didn't I have it? No, instance. Oh, okay. I rename it. If instance does not equal to null, do stuff, else do other stuff. So if we have here, we say instance dot work view equals to new work view. If we don't have it, then we say instance equals to get window of type node editor window. After that, basically we are doing this. We set it. And then again we say instance.workView equals to new workView. Okay? Now that we are sure we have our workView, and here we are basically saying if there is no workView in this instance, then first check if instance is not null. If the instance for whatever reason is null, regenerate it, and at the same time generate that workView that was null. Okay. Now we say first event e equals to event.current. Then we say workView dot update view, and here you see that it needs editor rect, a percentage of in that editor rect, an event, and a graph. So we say new rect. Position is an attribute of this window, okay? And it's a rect. So width, comma, position dot height, comma, again position dot width, comma, position dot height. Okay. Yep. Then we want a new rect as the percentage. We start from 0 and 0.05f. Okay. Then I need I did make them public. I don't need them public. 2 floats as view height percentage, and these should be constant. And view horizontal percentage equals to 0.75f, and a constant float as view vertical percentage equals to 0.7f. Okay. So in here we will use our horizontal. So we say view horizontal percentage, comma, 0.9f. Then we will have our event and our current current graph that I didn't add, I think. No. Okay. I didn't add it. So public node graph, and that is a current graph. And it's instantiated as null for start. So we send in the current graph. Okay. Cool. After this, we say we call process events and we send in the event. and we repaint ourselves. So what did I do by now? I first initialized the window. I checked if our work view is not null. If it's null, then create it. Then I'm calling the update view on the work view. I'm sending this window's width and height as a rect, and the percentage that the work view should use in that window, the event, and the current graph. In first run, it will be null. Let's see if something's working now. Node editor, launch editor. And as you see, we have our work view. We are getting some error, or a warning actually. The work view background is not found in our scheme. Cool, okay. So this is the name. No, this is work view base, work view background. So in editor, in custom styles, first element, name, that. And just to make sure it's working, the color is white, so it's black, not white. Okay. Work view background, work view background. Did I add it in dark? Yeah. So what's wrong with you? Every now and then it happens, and I really have to close Unity and come back. It will stop yelling. Yeah, it's again one of those stupid things, because work view background, work view background, it's the same. Okay, so we have to close the Unity, rerun the Unity, and we will talk about this error much later. But launch editor, and we don't have that error, and we have this guy. Now we don't see the borders because I need to import some textures inside editor, and I will just drag and drop for this episode. I will talk about them and how I created them in the finished episode. So bam, tons of textures, but all of them are GUI, they are point, they are 32 by 32, and they are true color. Apply. Thank you. Now in our GUI skin, dark, for the background, I have one, and I want to see the names, thank you, that has a view back normal dark. And as soon as I do that, I get this. Now, what's wrong here? The borders. We want 1 by 1, and you see that the lines are getting smashed, and 1. So we have this border, and this will help us. There is one tiny black line there to identify. But now we know that this is the work view. So the text position will be middle center, so it's in middle center. The font size, I think I will use 72. The color will be whitish, and yeah, that will work. So this is our work view. Time to add the rest. Of course, for that we need more views. Now, views, and let's start by property view. No. From top to bottom, the toolbar view. That would make sense. So another view, and we call it a node toolbar view. Of course, it inherits view base. It has a constructor, and we call the base here with tools toolbar, I think. No, I called it tools, okay? And I can totally copy paste the stuff from here and reuse them and tweak them as needed. So, bam, yeah. So that's the same. We will come to that later. So that's that. Everything's working. The only thing that I need, this is tools view background. Inside the style, of course, it will yell at me now. 2, not 22, 2. And I will call this one to tools, because we are safe, you know. It's work view and tools view. And close this guy, clear, run it back. And what's wrong with you now? Oh, because I didn't add it. Okay, so for tools, again, we are using that background and the same stuff. I will change this number because 72 is too big for this little spot. But now we can go into our node editor window where we are instantiating our views. We can say, before that, we should say public toolbar view, and we call it tools view. Instance.tools view equals to new node toolbar. Instance.tools view equals to new toolbar. Now for the rect, I will copy this guy, paste it, and the values will change. Here we will use position. Here we will use 0, 0, 1, and 0.05f as height. If I come back to Unity now, we should see a tools bar here. There we go. But as I said, the tools view text is too big, so I think I went with 18. Come on, work. Come on. Do I need to close Unity every time? Clear. Refresh. Yeah, it looks like. Okay, let's finish these guys and then I will come back to those because this is getting bizarre. So the next one is our properties view. So properties view. And again, it inherits from view base. And I'm a big fan of using copy paste. So obviously things are wrong there. So properties, and I think I need to add node in front. Node properties view. Thank you. And it will show properties. And this is, oh, look at that. Tools, KView background, properties. And close before you reset anything there. Tools view background, yeah. So 3, this will be properties. No, what did I do? Okay. Cool. In our node view, we'll have public node properties view, and we call it properties view. Instance.properties view equals to new properties view. Instance.properties view equals to new properties view. And the rect for him for properties, again, width and height, new rect. Here I will use the percentage for horizontal. Am I right? Yeah. Then the vertical percentage. Then here plus 0.05f, because we are pushing everything down 0.5f. That's why I'm using it here and here. Then 1 minus horizontal. And here this minus view vertical. Okay? Looks bizarre, but trust me, it's only playing with numbers and finding the proper numbering for your rect. Okay. Let's compile. And I totally ruined it. This is the help view. Hey, that was the help view. Okay. Yeah. So horizontal 0.05f, comma 1 minus view horizontal, comma view vertical. That's it. And that's our property view. But again, it's not reading our settings. So, I'm calling repaint bugs inside Unity3D, and I will finish these two and reset my Unity. Okay, so next view is our help view. So node help view, and again it's view base. Did I have? No, I forgot. So Control C, Control V, import. And this is help, and this is help. And why didn't I save it in the tools? No, tools KView. That's the, oh, that's why it's not reading everything. It should give us the bugs, but did it fix it now? Close. No. Okay. Okay, I'll come to you later. But now I need 4. Come on. This will be help view background and 32. Cool. So in our node editor window, again, we have another one of these views. So it's public node help view, instance.help view equals to new help view, instance.help view equals to new help view, and now I have that percentage. Okay, so this is horizontal, this is view, yeah, vertical plus 0.05 f, and this is 1 minus horizontal, and this is 0.09 f minus vertical. And we should get our help view now. Oh, I ruined something. Let's double check. Position, height, position, width, height, horizontal, then vertical plus that, then 1 minus horizontal, then, oh, there we go. 0.9, not 0.9, okay. And that's our help view, okay? Now, the last one is our status view. So let's make it 5. And it's our status view. The font is 18. The rest is the same. So coming back to code, first add our view. So node status view from tools, Control A, Control C, Control V. Yeah. Oh, look at here. I ruined the stuff. Okay, node status view. Node status view, cool. So Control C, Control V, and this is a status. Status. The rest is the same. Of course, I need to change these guys later, but we will see nothing here, no errors, cool. So node editor window. The last view we have is public node status view. Oh, heck. No. Look at here. Yeah. So now the status view, we call it status view. Then we come down, we say instance.status view equals to new status view. Instance.status view equals to new node status view. And finally, our rect. And why I am doing dumb things. Interesting. Toolbar view, work view, properties view, help view. God damn it. Big fan of copy pasting and dumb copy paster. So last one is our status view. Where did I put you? There we go. Status view. Now status view again is the same. This rect is totally different though. We say 0, comma 0.95f, comma 1, comma 0.05f. Save, come back to Unity, let it compile, and I forgot something. No, I didn't forget. Okay. I wondered why these guys wouldn't work. Now they are working. Okay, so we have our bars, our different views. Okay, so toolbar, property, work view, that is our node editor. Each time we select a node, we will see its properties. Each time we select a node, we can add help, and anytime we want something, we add something in status. Cool. Now, in next episode, I will add the toolbar, first 2 buttons, and actually I will add the buttons all because I like to have them in here one by one, and we will see how it will go. We will have fun. It became 1 hour episode right now. Have fun, everyone. Bye-bye.